Hello, everybody. This is the Contrarian Bastard bringing you another episode of the Snake Talks. I'm here with my friends, Mr. Red Fox and Metalhead Gamer. Please introduce yourselves.
What's up? It's me, Mr. Red Fox. This is the second one of the well, technically third, but the second official one that's officiated by the man himself, the man who went to the Garden of Eden and got everyone kicked out, the snake that talks. I guess we'll I'm here just to bust a little bullshit because that's what I do, and have a little bit of fun, which is also something that I do. So let's get it started.
Well, first we're going to talk about our dear.
Let Metalhead introduce himself.
Sorry, Metalhead.
You forget about me. I'm hurt.
Don't forget about Spawn, dude. Don't forget about Spawn.
Here, have a hug. Have a hug.
Don't go to sleep on Al Simmons, man. Don't go to sleep on Al Simmons.
Said hello, Metalhead Gamer here. And yeah, let's get started.
So we're going to talk. What a way to start a third-party bullshit cast that with the father of third-party bullshit themselves, Capcom.
Well, I was gonna say EA, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, you masterminds of all this.
Maybe Namco Bandai.
Oh yeah, the two of them actually. Yeah.
After taking their pants and screwing over the ass Street Fighter fans with Street Fighter V, Capcom extend their evil dick to Marvel vs. Capcom now. By announcing paid DLC without just a sheet, with not even starting to announce the new characters, and they are already starting DLC with the Sigma and Ultron DLC.
Let me. You guys give your opinion, and I'll go last.
I'm actually appalled that Capcom still has done nothing to fix that piece of shit Street Fighter V.
And they won't either, but that's another story.
Well, to them, it becomes standard practice.
Well, they have no incentive.
I sometimes wonder if like the Street Fighter creator just wants to secretly a vacation. He's just trying to kill the Capcom fighting games one by one.
Well, I mean, the people who actually created Street Fighter don't work at Capcom anymore. They went to SNK, and some of those people, when they left, went to SNK, and some of them went to branched off and created Arc System Works. So for those people who love Street Fighter 2, if you want to play the true success of Street Fighter 2, you have to play Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, but nothing from Capcom is really,
Actually, I love both Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear.
So do I, but I mean, those are more of the successors to Street Fighter over, what we've been getting. But so you feel that that Street Fighter has kind of gone downhill?
Gone downhill is an understatement. To release a game with practically no modes at all, basically a bare bones character roster, and basically most of them DLC, and they're still coming. By the way, they announced a season 2 DLC, which you need to buy another season pass for. Yeah. Now season passes are by seasons now, so you can have the season 1 pass, and you have to buy the season 2 pass too. Oh, thank you, Capcom. Like, we want to fork more money to make a mediocre game good.
What can I say to say this? How can I put this? Metalhead, what do you think about it? I want to go last. I'm not gonna tell you guys my opinion until everyone states their case.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is all bullshit, man. I mean, come on, really.
That's bullshit.
I'm glad. Look, back when I had a PS4, I'm glad I didn't buy Street Fighter 5. I didn't. I did not.
Actually, do you guys think that Capcom, after pulling all this bullshit, is going to do a definitive edition of Street Fighter V and fuck all those that pay for season passes?
Well, they've done it in the past, so
yeah. It seems like they would do that. And here's the thing: I don't think that's really getting like. Here's the thing: if you're dumb enough to buy this game, because I mean, I shouldn't say dumb enough. There are people who are huge Marvel versus Capcom fans. That like that franchise. There are people that are huge Marvel fans that really like Marvel games. There are people who just like fight like straight 2D fighting games, and they're gonna get this. And you know what? As long as they have fun with the game, God bless them. Me personally, like I said, when I heard this game was going to come out, I was like, I'm going to get it. But when I found out about all this stuff, I was like, well, I'll wait for the definitive edition, or I'll wait until they have a price cut later on down the line.
Actually, to be honest, I think they're going to pull a Street Fighter V with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, I can feel it because they basically rush the release date to this year, like to September. I think they're going to just include a 12 to 11 character roster. Like, no most. Don't be surprised if there ain't an arcade mode on that game, people.
No, I think there will be. I think there will be an arcade mode in the game. Because here's the thing: they cannot release another game like Street Fighter V. They can't do it. And here's the thing: a lot of the reason that Street Fighter V was bare bones is because they used a new engine, and they spent a lot of time working on getting the game's features to work in that engine. Unreal 4, whatever it was, whatever engine they were fucking using, whatever.
But you forget something, Mr. Redfalls. When had you seen Capcom learning from their mistakes? Capcom is the king of doing one bullshit in one game and doing it on another in spite. Like they did the true ending crap, not just on Asura's Wrath, but on Dead Rising. Which Dead Rising was the recent one?
Dead Rising 4.
So, but believe me, Capcom is not really good at learning from their mistakes. So, don't be surprised if they pull a Street Fighter V bullshit.
Well, I mean,
Capcom.
Like, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but here's the thing about Capcom. Capcom learns from their mistakes when they lose money. And let's keep it real. Like the things you mentioned, the Dead Rising, they didn't really lose money, right? Now, if they start losing money, like they lost money with Street Fighter V.
Yeah, I read an article about that, about Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 5 bombing really badly.
So I mean,
when it gets outsold by Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
And it got outsold by Pokken Fighter, which is like a low-budget game for the Wii U.
On that smaller install base.
with a
low install base, a game with practically zero hype, like that game wasn't advertised like it should. And the game, I think, only sold, I think it was like 5 million or 4 million, I think.
Close, like over 1.5, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it sold, okay, for a AA or even single A budget game, it sold relatively well. Namco Bandai and Nintendo made money off of it. Or I should say Namco Bandai, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company. They all made money off of the thing. Street Fighter V, I don't think, is still not really profitable for Sony, which is a problem because, you know.
Yeah, like supposedly not only did the game did so well, for what I hear, it was also quite expensive to make.
Yeah, but you have to remember Sony underwrote Street Fighter V. They helped pay for some of the development. As a matter of fact, I think they paid for the development of that game on for the PS4. So really, I mean, if anyone lost money, like really lost a lot of money out of it, it's Sony, because they're the ones who rushed that game out. I think Capcom was like, this game is not going to be ready, And Sony was like, "Nah, man, we need to have it out." And they were like, "Okay, you sure you want to do that?" You know.
Now I feel bad. Like for the first time in my life, I feel bad for Sony. Like
I
No, I
don't.
don't. I don't feel bad for
the,
them. They look. Capcom because here's the thing. Okay, if you're a Street Fighter fan, you know that between each new quantitative jump in a Street Fighter game, it takes about 3 to 5 years for you to get a new game. 3 to 5 years. That's what it takes. Like from Street Fighter 1 to Street Fighter 2, it was like 2.5, almost 3 years. Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter Alpha, it was like 2 to 3 years. Um, uh, Alpha to 3, 2 to 3, 4 or 5 years. Okay, 3 to 4, more than 5 years. So 4 to 5, more than 5 years. So basically, but here's the thing: they announced that they were developing. Like they announced they were developing that game in 2015. It came out in 2016 they announced it. It came out in 2017. No, 2015 they
It
announced
came
it.
out in 2016.
Yeah, 2015 they announced it. It came out in 2016, literally a year. There was no way on God's green earth that game was going to be what it should have been because it takes too long to make Street Fighter games. It just
I
because
know.
they're I mean it's a time it's a labor I mean I hate to say this, it's a labor of love to make a Street Fighter game. It's not something that's done. You got to put in a lot
Actually,
of quality time.
I said that game. You can see that Street Fighter Five was not made with the care that it should be.
No, because it was missing major things, but I don't think that was entirely Capcom's fault. I think Capcom really I think personally they were like, look, it takes us at minimum at least 2 years to come up with a new Street Fighter. I think they would have preferred to have Street Fighter 5 come out this year. This year actually would have been perfect for Street Fighter 5. The problem is that Sony money headed that game, and they had like more say in what was going on. So they basically were like, "Oh, we're going to release it. This time we have a lap where nothing is really hitting our system. No major games are hitting our system, and we can't lose momentum." Which is weird because the PlayStation division isn't making that much money at all, and in some cases it's losing money. But they were like, we need to continue having PS4s have the illusion that they're selling. So,
I think another reason for this was for Sony to have their own exclusive fighting game, like Killer Instinct on Xbox One and Smash Brothers on Wii U. Like they were like, we need our own fighting game, and
yeah, but it's not a good fighting game. That's the problem with the title.
Actually,
It's not good.
I never played the Xbox One Killer Instinct games. How was it?
It's okay. I mean, if you're someone who was a fan of Killer Instinct back in the day, it's like getting back on a old bike. But it definitely graphically it looks nothing like Killer Instinct. It plays like Killer Instinct. It doesn't really look like anything like the old school Killer Instinct. So it it takes a lot of work to get used to it again. You know what I'm saying?
And about the DLC practice, supposedly I heard about the what were the DLC in that game?
Basically they released the game Killer Instinct. It was free at first. Like you could download it and you would be able to play as one character, and they would rotate that one character like every month or every 2 or 3 months, something like that. And then basically as they added more content, they'd give you a choice. Like you can get Killer Instinct Season 1, Killer Instinct Season 2, Season 3. And with each season, they gave you more content, more modes, stuff like that. And I think the seasons were like $20 or $30, something like that. Or you could get like the pre-order, like first edition, where you got like Season 1 and 2. Like you paid $60 and you got Season 1 and 2 with everything as it was available. I mean, it's kind of a half-ass mode to roll out a game, but Killer Instinct hadn't been a viable property in like over 20 years. So it was like, okay, and Rare has been fucking up royally for a while now. So, I mean, it wasn't like something that was going to happen overnight. You know what I mean?
Actually, Rare has been Rare in name only since the original team left to form Platonic.
Well, a lot of them, some of them didn't go to Platonic. Like the Stamper brothers don't work at Platonic. But I get what you're saying. Like that, they're gone. I mean, I feel bad about it because I grew up playing rare games. I know rare games like the back of my head. But
Actually, the rare release that I think was Sea of Thieves, I forgot the name. They announced at the remember that S box E3. Everyone was fapping themselves to. I think it was 2015. With the
Yes.
yeah, they
Yes.
don't even talk about that game, do they?
Well, Rare has always been secretive anyway, so it's no surprise to me.
No. Like people who actually played that game, like no one even talks about that game. They won't even talk about it. It's like it doesn't exist.
Well,
have you ever seen people talk about Recore?
Yeah, how disappointing it was.
Like, actually, let's be honest. That E3 was like everyone was so hyping that E3, but most of the games that came out from that E3, people either don't like, don't didn't sell well, or were canceled. Scalebound.
oh boy.
Well, I mean, let's keep it real. Like Rare, that Rare game was not going to be good anyway. Okay, let me put this. Recore, there was no way Recore was going to be good. Okay, it just because here's what people need to understand. Keiji Inafune made good games. That's because he had a really good team around him. And the resources of Capcom, and I know people like, oh, fuck Capcom, but think about it. Think about all the people, not just Capcom. Think about all the people who left the companies they used to work for with really good IPs that left, and how well those IPs are doing now that they're gone, and how well they're doing now that they no longer work there, right? Like very few of them are actually doing well.
Actually, I think it's kind of a trend, like in Japan. All these people who were the creative force behind many IPs are not working in their former companies anymore. Like it seems like it's a trend because you brought it with Sakaguchi for Final Fantasy, Keiji Inafune for Mega Man, and the guys for Street Fighter. It's like wow.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys something. Was Mighty Number Nine really as bad of a game as people say it is?
I didn't try it yet, so I can't tell.
I have it on PC, and it's really like here's the thing, okay. Mighty Number Nine is not that bad. Like I've said this before, I don't like giving grades to games, but if I had to give it a grade, I would give it a B minus, maybe a C plus. It's not a terrible game. The general ideas behind it are solid. The problem is all the other bullshit that happened around it. Like, right? It's like if you go to a really good restaurant, right, and the food is decent, it's not that expensive, but you get horrible service. You're not gonna want to go back, even though the food's not bad and it's in your price range. The service is like the waiter is an asshole. They get your orders wrong. Like you're gonna have a negative idea associated with that thing. And that's what happened to that game. Is that like people were like, man, Keiji Inafune and the people at Concept handled it really badly, and that basically soured people against the game, which is sad because. It's not that bad of a game. It's not great by any stretch of imagination, but it's not terrible. It's not like this shit's totally unplayable. It has no good ideas. There are good ideas in the game. It's just, it feels like they ran out of money halfway through and they just had to throw some shit together in order to get it out the door, which considering what went on in the back, it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand because actually, so I've been reading that what actually killed Recore was that Keiji Inafune practically destroyed his image with Mighty Number Nine.
Well, that and Record just isn't that good of a game. It's just not that good of a game. Like Mighty. Okay, the bad shit that Keiji Inafune did with Mighty Number Nine, like Keiji Inafune had another game that was supposed to come out for the Wii and the 3DS. It was called Cal, King of the Pirates, and that game was done with shit. I forgot the name of the publisher, but it was like they spent 3 million yen on it over several years, and nothing ever came of it. So basically, like that was the first thing he did when he left Capcom. This huge multi-million-dollar project was supposed to be multimedia and all this shit, and he literally just took those people's money and produced nothing, had nothing to show for it, except for a nice little teaser trailer that they had at I forget what year's E3 that was, showing it off. Like, so I mean, Keiji Inafune is not what I would call the most easily trusted person.
Well, well, actually, I don't know if I should say because I haven't done my research on this, but I did heard that Keiji Inafune had something to do with the stupid direction Capcom took.
Oh yeah, he used to be the he used to be like one of the people in charge of picking which projects got to get made and stuff like that.
Supposedly he wanted to Americanize. He said he
Oh
believes.
yeah, I remember when he said that. It was like Japan needs to adapt to the West. Japan needs to adapt to the West, and yeah.
Which I mean, that's not a bad. Okay, it's not a bad thing to make your products appeal to a broader market.
But there needs to be a balance, like a balance between your identity and the market, basically.
Yeah, and he actually did make some decisions that were good. Like some of the games he made that kind of bridge that gap, like that fucking game with the mechs, Lost Planet.
Lost Planet.
The first Lost Planet was a nice balance between being Japanese and also Western. It appealed to both of those. Like,
I remember that game.
That's not. I mean, it's not bad to have games that appeal to both. The problem is that Keiji Inafune is a big idea guy, but when it comes to actually doing the work, that's not really his. Like, he's good at directing people, but getting in the trenches, it's been a long time since he's done that. So he's not really, that's not his thing anymore. Which sucks because, like I said, the man does occasionally have some good ideas. But
remember Lost Planet 2?
Yeah, but that wasn't made internally by Capcom. That was made by someone. They farmed that out.
Who was the developer of that game? Let me see.
They farmed out Lost Planet 2.
Wait. Lost Planet 2 was developed by Capcom. It was.
Really?
Well,
that
maybe
was
the third one. Maybe the third one wasn't.
The third one was farmed out. I know that much.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Lost Planet 3. Yeah. Spark Unlimited. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they farmed that one out. I know that much.
Two was also a piece of shit, but.
Well, I mean, okay. The first Lost Planet is the best. 2 is okay. It's not great. It's okay, but 3 is just a total. 3 is a turd.
Like it really like it bombed. Like the third one flopped.
Like here's the thing. Like Lost Planet 2, like you could see where they tried to fix some of the control issues with the first one, which I have to give them credit. They did try to fix some of those and camera issues, but it's like how it played wasn't quite as like they took a little bit of the uniqueness from it and made it a little bit too generic. Like the whole squad thing. Like if they had not had the squad thing in Lost Planet 2, where you still were just.
I heard that's my main gripe with Lost Planet 2.
Yeah.
It just felt too generic.
Like it was a good. Like there were some good ideas, or if the squad thing hadn't been so like if they had been like okay, like you have a squad, but it's like you do like they're each unique enough and have their own skills and abilities, where it was like. They each had their own specialized mechs, and you could have them do stuff, or you could switch between them on the fly in order to do stuff. That would have been cool. But where like you're friggin' piloting a mech with 3 other people, and like if someone dies, you're fucked because if you can't revive them, like that was just like it was a good idea, poorly executed. But Lost Planet 3 wasn't even made by Capcom, and it was just garbage. It was like, ugh.
I never played 3 because I always thought 2 was terrible, and and so I lost interest.
Well, I've said this before. 3 was a good idea, but three had. I mean, 2 had a lot of good ideas, but it's just it wasn't executed well. It's like, okay, a game is like anything else.
Well, like it wasn't like two wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. I can give it credit. It's like a Resident Evil, which is like a Resident Evil 6. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 2 had some good ideas. It wasn't executed well. 3 was just a total piece of garbage. And I mean that's the thing. Some games you can farm out. Some games you can't. Like if someone is making a game and it's like a remake and you're just porting it, like upporting it or HDing it or whatever, like how Nintendo did with Twilight Princess,
Okay,
or the company, yeah, or that company Grezzo do Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS and Majora's Mask with 3DS. Okay, I mean, like that's not really, you farmed it out to somebody else. Okay, cool. But I mean, if someone's basically taken something that's like it really, you really need a personal touch to really make that game, and it's someone who hasn't worked with it and doesn't really understand like the nuances of what makes that game, then you're going to get the generic shit that was Lost Planet. um
The
Three,
two.
no, three was the game that basically, like, okay, Lost Planet and Lost Planet 2 feel like they're connected, right? Even though there's a lot of differences, and we have like the squad system from being a solo character in Lost Planet 1. Lost Planet 3 doesn't even feel like a Lost Planet game. It feels like someone looked at Lost Planet 1 and 2 and said, well, I mean, the only thing that Lost Planet 3 has in common is that it's got mechs. That's it. It's got mechs.
Actually, I, I'm going to say Capcom has a knack of just doing an installment so bad that it's practically franchise killing. Like, well, I'm sorry to use this like an example. Like Street Fighter Five is one of those examples of a franchise killing game that is just so bad that you see no hope for the franchise in the future. I mean, when they're trying to cash in on Street Fighter 2 nostalgia by doing the Street Fighter 2, how was it called? The new Street Fighter
Final
2,
Challengers.
the final challenger, because they screw so bad with fight, they need to make the money somehow. That's
Well, that
sad.
that and the fact that they went to something they know they can't fuck up. Like Street Fighter 2 has been perfected. You can't fuck it up. Like it's like someone saying, "Hey man, fry an egg." Like you can fuck up frying an egg, but generally speaking, you have to go out of your way to fuck up and frying an egg. Like, okay, did I heat up my pan? Do I have some type of fat in the pan, like butter or a little bit of oil or something? Okay, I cracked my egg. Okay, good. Okay, now I gotta wait until this side is depending on how long I want to get it done, until this side is a little cooked a little bit so that I can flip it over. I gotta season it before I flip it, then season the other side. Then just to make sure that side is well seasoned, flip it over again just for like another maybe 10 seconds, and then I'm done. I fried my egg. Like people,
Haven't you noticed that nostalgia is the answer when you're fucking up so bad? Because Square Enix has done. I think the only reason for Square Enix did the Final Fantasy VII remake is because they were
you
just.
mean they said they were doing the Final Fantasy VII remake, and we've heard nothing from it since.
Oh,
A couple of months ago, it was said that they didn't even start developing the game yet.
So yeah.
oh, that was another game announced at E3 2015 that people got hype all over it. Actually, that's a good
Well, let's
question.
keep it real. There were 3 games showed at E3 2015 that just made people, no, 2016 that made people jizz in their pants. It was that. It was Final Fantasy VII
Yeah,
remake. It was
Shamu.
it was Shenmue, and I want to say Kingdom Hearts.
Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 was already expected, so there was
Man, people have been expecting this shit for 10 years. This wasn't.
it did it did
That's a common practice with Square
it
Enix.
did it did not have that impact like when Final Fantasy VII
Hell.
remake. When Final Fantasy VII remake was announced, even IGN cried and they worshipped the game like it was like the second coming of Jesus was announced on that E3.
I knew you were gonna say that.
All I'm gonna say is this. But back to the Capcom thing. I'm gonna disagree with you guys on this because I don't like. I personally don't think that like. Actually, I'm glad that they announced that they're going to have a seasons, that they're going to have DLC beforehand. But this also means that they're going to be charging for all this extra stuff. That this game better have an arcade mode, a story mode, versus mode, single player, like a straight up single player match mode. It needs to have all that shit day one.
Yeah, but Capcom
Okay.
and DLC, yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Like, at this point, like, here's the thing. We get mad about DLC as gamers, but at this point, it's not going away. It's not going away. DLC is not going away. So I'm not going to sit there and get my blood pressure up. Oh, these bastards with their
Well,
DLC.
let's
I
be
just don't
honest.
buy it. You
Yeah,
just don't buy the DLC, or you
Well-
wait until they do a Game of the Year edition.
Well,
Of
let's
course,
be
that's
honest.
what I do.
There's even rumors that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to have two DLC packs.
That's okay, because like here's the thing: I'm not buying the game either way, so it's a moot point.
So,
I don't buy racing games anyway.
Look, I'm going to
what
reiterate what Liger has always said. If you don't want to support a business practice, you don't buy the product. So you don't like. I don't like the fact that there's content coming to the Switch version of the game that should have come to the Wii U version of the game. Like, and I'm like, you know what? It clearly was canceled, so they could put it on the Switch. Now, listen, look, this is business. They do what they need to do. But the fact that Nintendo has the balls to charge $60 for a port.
I attribute this to Kimishima basically because if Iwata was alive, that wouldn't have happened.
No, that wouldn't. No. This is a Kimishima move. So you know what? Fuck them. I'm not buying the game, and I'm tired of people going on the YouTube Gamosphere and people like, I'm so excited about a fucking port.
well, but you have to take into consideration not everyone playing Mario Kart 8 that's going to buy because
Well,
I
let me put it this way: Mario
I
Kart 8
didn't
had
play-
a 60% install base, which means
Yeah, but
more than
but-
half of the people who had a Wii U had this game. I'm
Yeah,
not saying everyone is.
Yeah,
gonna
but
get this.
remember this: the Wii U was what? Yes, paid for as it is, Nintendo. What the Wii U was Nintendo's least sold console.
No, it wasn't. That was the Virtual Boy.
No, aside from the Virtual Boy, like 30
Well,
million.
I mean, okay, the Virtual Boy and channel and channel 14. Like here's my point. Okay.
But I never bought people like me that never played Mario Kart 8. Like I'm going to have
Look,
my
man,
first.
knock yourself out. Have fun with it. I'm telling you my personal stance. I'm not
Yeah.
buying the game. I'm not going to reward bad behavior. Now, if you never played the game, if you didn't have it on the Wii U, you didn't purchase it for the Wii U, and or you're someone who didn't have a Wii U anyway, and you bought a Switch and you want to play a fun, family-friendly racing game, knock yourself out. Me personally, there's no way on God's green earth I'm paying $60 goddamn dollars for a game that I already own for two extra characters and a few extra tracks in battle mode, which should have been in the other game any goddamn.
No, I understand your point that's I'm not knocking you down because yes, this was like a shitty move because it would like as an update for the deal for the Wii U version, it would have been a great experience. Like, but to be honest, like for one such as me and other people, because I do know a lot of people there, this is going to be their first Mario Kart game. Like it's a good way to start with a more content, a more content, a more complete Mario Kart 8 experience. Like this has an actual battle mode. It has all the characters and all the DLC. Like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
look, listen.
but there's
Like I just said, if you have not played a Mario Kart for a while, or you didn't have it Mario Kart Wii on the Switch or whatever, Mario Kart Wii on Wii U on the Wii U, knock yourself out. You want to get a new game. As for me, since I already have the fucking game,
no, if you had the
I'm
game,
not getting it again.
it,
I'm not. I'm not buying it again.
I have to agree with Mr. Red Fox on this one because look, I understand both of your point of views on this, but here's the thing: you basically screw your Wii U customers by doing that because yeah, if you, it's basically a middle finger to those people, and
Well,
also in the
here's the
past.
thing. I'm not angry about it, the content not coming to the Wii U. I'm more angry about them charging $60 for it when
no,
it's just a fucking port.
they should
It's
have
a port.
charged $40. Actually, yeah.
The game should be okay on the higher end of the spectrum. It should be $49.99. On the if they were being friendly, $39.99. There's no way on God's green earth this game should be $60. I'm sorry,
And
not
let
for a port.
and let's be honest. As much shit as we talk, the game is going to sell gangbusters at this point.
Well, not
I don't think it's
gangbusters.
going to sell as well. I don't think it's going to sell as well as I don't think it's going to sell as well as Mario Kart Wii U.
Believe me, with the Switch hype
No,
as
no,
as
let me
it
finish.
is,
Let me finish. The
sorry.
reason I don't think it's going to sell as well as on the Wii U is because basically the reason Mario Kart 8 sold well on the Wii U because there was nothing else to play. There's other shit to play on the Switch.
Between Bomberman,
Yeah,
Zelda.
I mean,
yeah,
like
but for
there's
the 2
other
months
games to
it's been,
play. There, if you want to play a racing game, there are racing games that are cheaper than Mario Kart Wii U. Like, I think it's gonna sell okay. They're gonna make look. It's a fucking port. They're gonna make if it just sells if it sells 2 million, they've made a ton of profit because they made a ton of money. It's already paid for itself on the Wii U. But I mean, it's not. You're not gonna see the 60% install base
No,
sell through. It's
I
just on the Wii
understand
U.
because the Switch has, but remember this, like the Switch is a hot item right now in there, and there's not that many games still out still, and with the promotion, Nintendo's is more aggressively promoting this one than the original. Like, have you seen the Target promotions?
They promoted Mario Kart Wii U pretty well.
Oh no, no, they promoted the Mario Kart. It got promoted well, but like it's Mario Kart. Like Mario
well,
Kart is
now I
always.
remember there were Mario Kart Wii U commercials. They had it in certain NASCAR tracks. They had it in movie theaters. They had TV commercials. I don't really watch TV that much. I guess there are TV commercials for it right now, but I mean, I haven't seen it in movie theaters. I haven't
And
seen it on the NASCAR track. But I mean, how you can't really okay. I mean, it would be kind of disingenuous of Nintendo to advertise this like it's a brand new fucking game when it's a fucking port. I mean, I mean, it's
well, well, as far as it goes, I think that's what they're doing basically.
yeah. They're like, hey man,
And
Mario
that's
Kart 8
not-
again.
that's the
Yeah,
issue
no,
of doing that because if it was Iwata, it would not have been going this way.
no. If it was Iwata, it probably would have been either that content would have come to the Wii U or the game would have been like, look, it's gonna be $49.99 or $39.99. This shit where it's like $60 for this, like literally for like 40, like I'd say 30% more content. No, no.
actually, to be honest, even if I would have had Mario Kart 8, like I would have bought it because of the portability aspect. Because I do have a lot of friends, like I do have a lot of friends, like they have a Switch in my university. They're going to buy the game, and I can play like I can play like locally with them. My university and spend some time with them.
Hey man, knock yourself out. Look,
So,
look,
but
you can't. you can't play games for other people. You have to play games for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to spend the money to get the game. You're the one who's going to have to spend the time to enjoy it.
Well,
Now,
to be honest, the only reason I'm hyped for it is because of one character. So I cannot speak much, but like it's my reason for buying the game. I don't want to mention the character to avoid discussion.
okay. What's the next topic?
Let me. Sorry, sorry, something came up. Now, next topic I wanted to bring out actually is now we're getting close to the E3. What do you guys anticipate Nintendo will do with now they have the Switch hype train rolling? What are they going to do? Like, what do they need to do in the E3 to keep the Switch on this huge roll they have?
Well, I'd like to start. I think what they need to do is announce tons and tons of upcoming new games from them, not from third parties, from them. And actually, big scale projects like ARMS, for example, like projects that are in scope on par with Smash Brothers, Splatoon, Super Mario. Anyway, I think you get the point. Like a lot of big, exciting games from Nintendo.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon to have a Smash Brothers now? Like,
yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean,
yes, because
they might do a re-release, but I don't even think there'll be a re-release because I mean, it just
like if they
actually,
really
I doubt there's going to be a re-release. Like Sakurai has been really adamant with not doing anything with Smash recently.
Well, I mean, not just that. In order to do a re-release, they'd have to go to Namco Bandai, work out a deal with them with all that fucking DLC. And if they look, you see how Nintendo's fucking people over with the price of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, and that's them internally. And that's a choice they made themselves. With Namco Bandai, like if you tally up all that damn DLC, it's like $90-something just for the DLC. The base game $60 with all the DLC, the skins, the characters, the stages, $90+. I mean, you're talking $150-something odd. That's a $150 game. There's no way on God's green earth Namco Bandai is going to let Nintendo sell a $150 value game for just $60.
Actually, at least Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had all the DLC with that like integrated into the game. Like it may be $60, but at least that was a nice thing to do. Remember Call of Duty tried to do a remaster and then do and try to charge you for the DLC that was released from that game separately?
Yeah. Well, no. In order for you to get the Modern Warfare 2 remaster, you had
Modern Warfare 1.
You had to buy the preseason pass, some shit like that. Whatever. I don't know, man. I mean, basically, I just don't see them doing a re-release of Smash Brothers. But I guess after what
they're going to do another Smash. Like
I said a re-release of Smash Brothers 4. It wouldn't make sense to do it. It would be much better for them to make a new one.
But I anticipate the new Smash will be for next year, C3.
That's
I think it was Diana.
Maybe. I think it's still too soon. I don't think you'll see another Smash
2019
Brothers
will
for
be the minimum.
year after next.
2019.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2019 will be. You'll see another.
Because let's all be honest. Mario Kart and Smash are the cash cows that move the console forward. Like
not really.
Some of the cash cows, not the only ones.
No, but
not really.
Like, if you see
believe it or not, the games that really moved Wii U units, the games that really moved Nintendo units are the more casual games. So your Mario Kart, yeah. Smash, not so much.
Well, Smash
is big. Smash makes a lot of money, but it's not Mario Kart money or 3D or 2D Mario games. Because like here's the thing, you have to look at budget.
Well, Smash Brothers. Well, in recent years, Smash Brothers, in terms of sales, it's been on par with 3D Mario games in recent.
Yeah, but I mean, even 3D Mario games aren't outselling 2D Mario games. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Oh no, yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Like this
those are,
Mario
believe it or
Bros.
not, I
This
mean, they're making lots of money with their 2D games. So I
Actually, the
mean,
new Super Mario Bros. Series, people may give it all the flack they want from being repetitious and rehashing, but those series sell gangbusters. Like,
they make money.
I would buy a look if they make another one. I would buy it. I mean, they're fun. They're
Look,
fun.
here's all Nintendo
I
needs to
love,
do.
I love new Super Mario Bros. EU. It's like my favorite
Here's
3D Mario game.
here's all Nintendo needs to do in order to get money from me at this year's E3. Three things.
F-Zero.
I'm gonna agree with I'm gonna agree with Metalhead Gamer. They need to show strong first and second party games, okay, that are exclusive to the console. Strong second and first party games. And then if they really want to pull down their pants and smack Sony and Microsoft in the face with their Wiimote, they need to show some games that show why the Switch is unique, because a lot of the games that I'm seeing on the Switch right now are fucking Wii U ports. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like, and here's the thing. I know people are like, look, I don't really want to buy a system for fucking ports. Okay? I know some people say, but you've been playing a lot of Zelda Wii U. I mean, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, but that came out at the same time, just like Twilight Princess came out at the same time for GameCube and the Wii, and like I got it for the newer console.
Actually, that's one of the debates. Actually, that's one of the debates of Twilight Princess. That some fans have attributed Twilight Princess as a Wii game, others as a GameCube game.
It's both.
It's a 6 and 7 gen game. It's cross gen. But my point is that that's kind of like a extenuating circumstance, because you're getting the game and you're just choosing which system to get it on. But like this shit with like Mario Kart 8, hey guys, this game came out like 3 years ago. Here, buy it again full price. Fuck you. No. So I'm tired of seeing ports of old Wii U games. Because at this point, Mario Kart 8 is an old Wii U game, which is why I really don't want to see a Smash 4 port to the.
And the sad thing is that is what people want to be announced on E3. Like
no,
but
Game Explain does not speak for the vast majority of gamers. I think most people do not want. Okay, people want to feel that their purchase is legitimate. People want new games. They want shit. That I know you're gonna say, well, people on YouTube is the minority, because most gamers aren't going on YouTube writing in comment sections. Most people want to feel that their purchase is validated. They don't want to buy a system just to, like, okay, people did not plot down $300 in order to rebuy the fucking library from last gen. They don't.
Actually, that was one of the problems with the PS4 the first 3 years.
Well, I mean, even now there's a lot of ports. My point is this: people like want new shit. So even though you'll hear a few minority, we want Smash. No, you don't want Smash 4, because I mean, look, I bought Smash 4 twice. I have it on 3DS and Wii U. Okay, I don't want to buy that shit again. It's got all the content you already fucking paid for. Fuck you. Give me something new. Give me a new Smash Brothers with a decent fucking single player. I mean, like, that's what they need to show. They need to show new games, not ports. They need to show strong first and second party games. They don't have to be AAA. They can be AA or even single A, but they need to be strong and exclusive. And they need to show a game that showcases why it's better to be on the Switch. And no, just, I can pick it up and go anywhere and play this. That's not good enough. I need to show some unique shit that this game is doing.
Actually, I leave my opinion what I want from E3 at last, because mine is going to be a little more controversial.
I already said mine. I'm done.
Nintendo, now is the time to quit the digital event. Do a live presentation like you used to with the Switch, and just do a presentation so grand it's going to make Sony fans shit on their pants.
Well, that's not going to work with Sony fans. Sony could literally come out on stage, pull out a box, shit in it, and Sony fans will say, "Oh man, that was wonderful. It was beautiful."
They're going to do. They just clap.
Like Sony, the Sony sports guy, he pulled out a box and shit in it. We're so happy. This means the PS4 is winning.
Like,
But I really,
the PlayStation experience. I saw two guys standing up from their seats and moving their arms everywhere, like yeah.
I've never seen a more brainwashed band of fans on the planet like PlayStation fans. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, the snake that's
but
stuck in
the reason I want that is because with the Switch, like the Switch momentum as it is, and Nintendo, if they really had like strong announcement, what better way to show the world that the Switch is here to stay than to do a grand live presentation?
I have to disagree with
you.
I have to disagree with you on that, because here's the thing. The reason they created the digital event was to present the games to the people, not to the media. Fuck the media.
And here's the thing. The media, the journalists who would go up there, like, because you're already seeing it now. People are like, man, I love my Switch, but Nintendo needs to do this, and this. Like, when you do a direct, they give you, as a gamer, the information. They give, and they can't be misinterpreted. Well, they said this, but I think it meant this. It's like, here's what we said. You figure it out, motherfucker.
Remember when people mistranslated Miyamoto saying that they're going to abandon the casual gamers?
No, I think they said that to Iwata. Or I mean, like the whole thing is like, I mean, I get what you're saying. It would be wonderful to have live events, but every time someone says they want Nintendo to have live events, I just remember when they demoed Wii Music, and I just never want to see that ever again.
Oh,
as long as I live on God's green earth.
That was one of Miyamoto's most embarrassing moments.
Well, it wasn't so much Miyamoto, but that guy with that mohawk, oh God, that dude needed his ass beat with that damn mohawk. I bet he got up there, he's like, man, I'm gonna look cool with this mohawk. Like, you need your ass beat with that damn mohawk. Mohawks are so 1982.
But I just wish Nintendo would spend all the will open those coffers and just do the best E3 experience they can.
You know, I think we're gonna get a hybrid.
I think I can agree with you, Contrarian. What I interpret from what you say is that you want Nintendo to be more aggressive.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you on that. I agree.
I think you're going to get a hybrid presentation at Nintendo's E3 this year, kind of like how they did with the Switch announcement, where it was like they had some stage presence, but then they, in order to show the game, stuff like that, you had like more of a direct type feel. I think that's what they're going to have at this year's E3, which I'm okay with that.
Also, Nintendo needs to rely more like on cutscenes to really wow the audience with their announcement.
No, man, that's no. You don't want cutscenes.
I want
we do not want Nintendo going the way of Sony and Microsoft, where you see these games with these beautiful cutscenes and then the game hits and it looks nothing like that. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
one of the most common complaints at the Nintendo E3 is that supposedly the trailers don't hype you up, supposedly.
Well, that's because Nintendo shows their games
Nintendo, they show their products for what they are.
Exactly. And then as time goes on, they make them look prettier and prettier. So when the game comes out, like, people said the same thing about Super Mario 3D World. Like, at the E3 trailer, oh, it looks like garbage. Looks like Mario Kart. It looks like Mario Galaxy.
And they flip-flop at that direct in October.
And then the game comes out and they're like, shit, this game is gorgeous. So, you know, basically, I would rather keep my expectations low with Nintendo than for people to get so fucking hyped that they lose their mind. Because here's the thing, it's really hard to get disappointed when you have low expectations.
Well, yeah, the whole high expectation things that like bit Nintendo in the ass at E3 2015.
Well, it's bit all of them. I mean, like, think about it. Microsoft showed all those games 2015. Scalebound, Recore, Crackdown, all these games. And I mean, half of them have been canceled or multi-plats or were garbage. Listen, just show some games. Show some good first and
Actually,
second party games.
If there's one thing Microsoft need to do is to
Lower their expectations.
to rename the Halo franchise into something else, because since Halo 4, it hasn't been Halo at all. Like
No, Halo is not good
I gotta
anymore.
be honest with you guys. Until Halo 4, Halo was my favorite first-person shooter franchise. Okay, when
I
they
can appreciate
released
that.
Halo 4, they destroyed Halo.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
happened? What happened to Halo? I really want to hear the story because because you're not the first one that has actually tell me this. Like
Well,
some of my friends that play Halo, like my close friend, that almost share my entire taste, and he said Halo 5 is such a piece of shit.
He's right.
well, here's what happened to Halo. Bungie left Microsoft, so they were the guys who made Halo. And as you know, they went to Activision, where they're now making Destiny. But here's the problem: half the team stayed with Microsoft and created 343 Studios. Here's the problem: half of Bungie is not that good, which is why Destiny isn't that good, and why Halo 4 and 5 aren't that good. Like, really, to tell you the truth, the story of Master Chief should have fucking ended with Halo 3. And then Halo 4 should have been its own, like, they should have just started with a new character, passed the gauntlet, and started doing something new. Like, this is the next generation Spartan, and, like, he has different abilities because he's the next generation Spartan.
And how different is those two?
Yeah, that would have been a better game, but instead they were like, they can't let go Master
You
Chief.
finally
They can't do anything
came.
new.
Sorry, I didn't know because Google didn't notify me.
Yeah, Google is kind of annoying these days.
And
Well,
if anything, I was hearing you guys talk about Halo and how aged it went.
Well, it used to be really good. It's not that. I mean, it's like Halo 3 was good, and then Halo 4 came out, and that was like a real kind of
A piece of shit.
I was gonna say it shows how the transition from one team to another shows.
yeah, like literally the game did not. The game is not like Halo 4 doesn't even feel like a Halo game, really.
well,
It's
to be
not
honest,
Halo.
my friends don't have an opinion for the 5. They really hate that game. Like what? Like 5? What was 5's problem?
Hopefully, it's not the same problem as the Halo collection.
Well, the thing is, well, I mean, it's the story. I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? For me, I played Halo for the story. I like the first game. I like the second game because you could play some of the missions as the Arbiter, which I'm going to keep it real. I like the Arbiter better than Master Chief because at least the Arbiter had a fucking personality. Master Chief has
the voice of Spawn.
Yeah, he has David Keith's voice, and David Keith's voice. If you're a man, David Keith's voice will literally raise your testosterone by like 20%. Like, you'll grow a beard, you'll start speaking low like this, and
The Batman boys.
You'll start smoking cigars and driving around in big cars. And I mean, so Halo 2 was great. Halo 3 was also really good. And then they should have they wrapped up the story. That was the end of the Halo story for like that thing. So Halo 4 should have been an entirely new character, like set in the same universe, maybe an entirely new character. Personally, I think they should have gone like a Borderlands route with Halo, where it was like you had massive open world, but like you were a character, like you kind of leveled up and stuff like that. I think that would have been a better thing because then it would have made vehicles make more sense than they did in Halo before, where you're like almost in a corridor shooter, but you have a vehicle, and it's like, why?
Yeah, but the addition of vehicles in Halo was actually good. I mean,
well, in the multiplayer,
say.
yes, but I'm saying like in the single player, it would make sense if you had a bigger, like if you were in a bigger open area and you had a vehicle, then like, okay, basically I have a Warthog, but this like basically I'm like in a little tiny valley where it's much more efficient for me to run around than to get in this vehicle, but if vehicle's here. Like, it's like one of those things where like This kind of makes no damn sense.
Yeah, I understand your point. Yeah, I get what you say.
It had some weird. I mean, the thing is, like, at the end of 3, I mean, despite the minor gripes I have with Halo, the single player, the story was finished. They should have wrapped it up and moved on to a new character. Maybe in the multiplayer, you could have like different playable characters. Well, you already had different playable characters, and you could, like, maybe if you prestiged or something, you could unlock Master Chief, and he could come back in the multiplayer. Or maybe after you beat the game on hard mode, legendary mode, whatever they used to call it, you could play as Master Chief instead of the new character. But I mean, they just couldn't let Master Chief go, and that, I mean, it's kind of like Goku with from the Buu saga.
I was about to say the Dragon Ball
from Dragon Ball Z. If you can't, you got to let go of the old character and bring in someone new to keep the franchise fresh, and they couldn't do that. So Halo.
I was about to say they did it for mostly all of Z and going right into Super.
Yeah, they tried to do. They tried to. I mean, that's why people got mad at Halo 5, was because they were hyping it up. There would be like this major conflict between Master Chief and this new Spartan named Locke, and you didn't get that. It was just
that major conflict was just a cutscene.
Yeah, it was just some bullshit. So people were like, "Oh, I'm done with this game," and they walked away. And you know, Microsoft's like, "Well, Halo 6 is going to be better." It's like,
I was going to say, what, and if Destiny didn't help try to soothe some of those aches, nothing is going to help.
Well, like I said, half of Bungie is not that good. like because 343, like half of Bungie's studio when they left Microsoft stayed and formed 343. 343, like Halo 4 and 5 are garbage.
Not just that. In Halo 5, they removed split screen multiplayer. Then people got mad about this, and in a recent live event, the creative producer, I think, I'm not sure her name or whatever, she said, "We fucked up with split screen. We are sorry. In the future, we will include it." It's like, you should not have removed it in the first place.
It was a core feature. It's like like Nintendo saying, "Hey man, guess what? In Mario games, no more power-ups. None. No
what the
power-ups
hell?
whatsoever."
That was
That I was going to say, that's the Lost Levels difficult.
Yeah, but Lost Levels had power-ups. You had the Fire Flower and the Invincibility Star. I mean, like, power-ups have been part of Mario for years.
I was saying having no power-ups is just as insanely difficult as being stuck in the Lost Levels.
Yeah, that's about it.
Actually, what do you guys think of? Supposedly, there's been like huge rumors that Microsoft is going to announce Halo 6, the C3.
Yeah, people are saying that. Yeah, they already announced they're going to do Halo 6. But here's the thing: if Halo 4 and Halo 5 are any indication of 343 Studios' prowess with making games, do you trust them to make a Halo 6? Really?
I never been big on Halo, so that's why
I'm saying if you're a Halo fan, like, okay, let me put it. It's not even about whether or not you played it.
It's about the quality.
Yeah, right? If Nintendo came out with Nintendo's been pretty consistent with their 3D Mario games. Mario 64 is good. Mario Sunshine is good, bordering on okay, depending on who you ask.
I liked it.
Yeah, some people like it, some people hate it, some people just feel it's okay. But then you have Mario Galaxy 2, which are fucking awesome.
Even though one feels a bit less like a sequel and more of an add-on.
Yeah, one feels more like an expansion, but hey, more Mario is always fun. Mario 3D World is pretty good. Not as good as the Galaxy.
I was about to say
pretty good.
The thing that got killed by what was it again? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh.
I'm a huge Mario Galaxy fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone here likes Mario Galaxy, but I mean, the thing is like Nintendo has had a pretty consistent record of Mario games. But if Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were garbage, and 3D World, like, would you trust them with 3D World? Would you be like, well, 1 and 2 were garbage, why are you making 3D World? Like, maybe you need to revamp how you make these games. That's how it feels when someone tells me, when Microsoft's like, we're making a Halo 6. It's like, well, are you gonna F that up like you did 4 and 5?
And not even split screen's gonna save it.
No.
I just realized which one it is because I was trying not to laugh. It was supposed to be the thing that got killed by Knack.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Knack is gonna totally destroy Mario 3D World.
I mean, it's like the campaign for Invisimals being compared to Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, God, I hear the sodium with some of those.
Well, Sony's the ones whose PR department, hey Nintendo, we did it first. Yeah, but your shit got taken down, whereas Nintendo shit is still running around. So
Actually, I'm kind of like something that makes me laugh is don't Sony always say a game is going to kill a franchise and that game end up being garbage or mediocre? Like, didn't they say and I quote, Killzone is going to be the Halo killer?
yep.
Yeah, we know how that turned out.
Did it kill Halo?
Well,
No.
every game they say that's gonna be X so and so, put in insert name here, killer, fails. Like they money had it. Dark Cloud. It was gonna be the Legend of Zelda killer. Dark Cloud is not a bad game, but I mean,
No, Dark Cloud is awesome, but Zelda Killer, oh, what the hell?
yeah. But let me ask you something. How many Dark Cloud games have there been? Arguably 3. How many Zelda games have? Well,
no, Zelda.
Rogue Galaxy is like the Dark Cloud. It's like the Dark Cloud successor, really.
Oh man, guys, look, you are the first people who actually tell me about this franchise, because until now I had never heard of this. And
What, Dark Cloud?
man, I look at pictures and they really try to copy Legend of Zelda. Man.
Yeah, like
The Dark Cloud one protagonist is an obvious, like, he's obviously trying to emulate Link.
Graphically, he looks like a Link knockoff. He even has like a 1-syllable name. His name's Tone. But the thing about Dark Cloud that makes it cool is that, like, for one thing, you have weapons have endurance; they can break. But like as you use a weapon, it gets experience as you defeat enemies, and then once it's fully experienced, you can fuse it with another weapon to make more powerful weapons. So it's like you could really if you knew what you were doing in the game, you could really make some really like insanely powerful. You could make some really powerful weapons early on in the game. Like literally, you could grind in the first dungeon of the game to make some of the like most powerful weapons early on if you had the patience.
Yeah, but that will take a long ass grinding.
I mean, basically, in the first dungeon, if you really knew what you were doing and you ground for money and weapon and weapon repair dust. I know it's called something else, but basically it's weapon repair
powder.
Yeah. If you had repair powder or emergency repair powder, which you just equipped, and when your weapon was about to break or broke, it would automatically activate to restore your weapon, which was actually a pretty neat little feature. Because once your weapon was gone, it would revert back to the weakest form, which is the shitty dagger. But basically, if you played your cards right, in the first dungeon, in the first 2 or 3 hours, if you really knew how to grind, you could get weapons. You could get your sword up to like level like weapons that you would be getting in the third dungeon in the game in the first like 3 hours. So basically, you would be murdering monsters that you should have been struggling against in the first. It's like fuck you. I don't know who you are, but you have to die. And it was ridiculous.
Actually,
I look at the developers and they say it's level 5.
Level 5. Yeah. Look, level 5 does not make bad games. It's just Sony was like, this game's gonna be the Zelda killer. Why'd you say that?
They shoot themselves in the foot.
You know, if you just said it's going to be a good game and we hope it's going to turn out to be good. And Dark Cloud 2, which in my opinion, while it graphically looked better than Dark Cloud 1, was not as good of a game. They tried to do too much. Like
Actually, I love Dark Cloud 2. He had a charming world.
No, the world was interesting. It's just they tried to do too much. Like, okay, the first Dark Cloud had enough diversions that it felt like a full game. I mean, because basically, like, Dark Cloud feels more like ActRaiser than it does a straight-up fighting game. Because basically like you have the portions where you go into the dungeons, you find stuff, you do little side quests. But then you had the Ultimate spheres, which you basically use to rebuild wherever you were. Like, so rebuild a forest, rebuild a town, rebuild a city, rebuild a seaside resort. So basically, like I mean, there was like in order for you to get some of the best items in the game, you had to rebuild these towns and cities, like in the perfect manner. And I mean, that was a nice little strategy aspect to the game. And I mean, it was really cool. It was a really neat little diversion. And they had fishing and like little side quests and stuff you could do. And that was enough for a game. But then in Dark Cloud 2, they were like, you've got a robot, you've got golfing in dungeons, they had fishing. And
oh God,
like, that's just too much shit.
Don't mention that bullshit mechanic. The
yeah,
dungeon.
like that was the thing. I was like, this is too much. You're trying to do too much in this game. Like, it's too much going on. There's too much shit. Whereas Rogue Galaxy, which, I mean, it's made by Level 5. It has a lot of the same mechanics as Dark Cloud 1 and 2, but it's been refined. So like when you're in dungeons, you don't have to do all that weird ass. Like it feels like they have enough stuff in. Like you had the factory mechanic where you made shit you made stuff in a factory, and you found components in order to upgrade your character. So you had like a weapon sphere, kind of like Final Fantasy 12 style. I mean, it was a very good game. It was a very good game.
Now that you are new to the podcast and we're in the topic, what now that Nintendo E3 is like fastly approaching, what are your what did you want Nintendo to do? Yeah.
Personally, I'm just really hoping to know what is going to be of the 3DS and Switch games that are to be coming out soon, and basically, if possible, know if there's any love left for the Wii U, which I'm guessing none because of the stupidity.
Yeah, there's no love left for the Wii U, which is sad because the Wii U was a great console.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I don't know why I said was. Like it's dead. Like it got shot in the back of the head. The Wii U is a great console, and I don't know why people just.
I think it's peer pressure. That's why.
I say this much: the people wanted to cry and cry and cry and cry, and even though the Wii U did not, even though the Wii U did not sell like the PS4, I bet you Nintendo still has the last laugh.
Well, in the long run, that's for sure.
Yeah, because who has pockets full of green?
It's not just that. It's like the Wii U was a great console. It had a lot of it had a lot of potential, and it's sad to see like all these genres that could have been on the system that weren't utilized because people didn't buy it because they would rather have conventional gameplay, which is weird because they're loving the Switch, which is basically a Wii U perfected. It's weird.
But on the Switch, you cannot use two screens at the same time.
And it's worse because of
downer.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to this. What's the future for dual screen past Nintendo games? Because look, if they were to simply port Wii U or 3DS games on the Switch with no adjustment.
Dual screen functionality?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would feel cheap.
Yeah, because...
And that actually makes me worried about the next handheld for Nintendo.
Well,
there is one.
I'm going to keep it real. If Nintendo... Well, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's never going to give up that handheld space because there's just too much fucking money in it. So
yeah, monopoly.
You don't even... I mean, it's not even a monopoly thing. It's just, okay, they essentially created the modern handheld sphere, and they know how to make money in it. Like the reason Nintendo could afford to have the Wii U just not do underperform like it did, and they weren't like, oh god, we're fucked, like not like Sega or Atari, is because they've always had another device that's just made money buku. Like back in the day, it was the Game Boy, then it was the Game Boy Color, then it was the Game Boy Advance, then it was the DS.
The shit out of the Game Boy Advance.
So did I, but I mean, it's because they have a handheld, and I don't think they're ever going to give up that handheld space. So I mean, trust me on this one. I'm not in the boardroom, and I'm not a fly on the wall. But trust me, they're working on a next handheld. But the thing is like with the Switch doing well, and the 3DS doing well. Well, I say the Switch doing gangbusters, the 3DS doing well. Their next handheld, I think, is going to be backwards compatible with the 3DS. So clearly, it's going to be pretty powerful, but they're going to have to find the right price point. So I'd say don't think about looking at another Nintendo handheld for another 2 to 3 years.
You know
If you say it's true, then I guess this is where they're gonna bring the Wii U Virtual Console games.
Yeah, well, the way they go, their handheld is always as powerful as the previous console. Like the Game Boy was as powerful as the NES.
Of course.
The Game Boy Color was like a step between the NES and the Super Nintendo to some extent. The Game Boy Advance was basically a Super Nintendo. The DS was an N64. The 3DS is essentially almost a GameCube. So I guess the next one will be basically a Wii or /Wii U. Even though the Wii and the GameCube were basically on par with each other, it's going to be a Wii U in your hands.
Actually,
which technically speaking, that's what the Switch is.
to be honest, even through Nintendo, like doesn't want to lose. I will keep making another handheld will be redundant.
Not really. I mean, because here's the thing: they're eventually going to reach the point where, like developers will have pushed the hardware as far as they can, and even both internally and externally, and they're going to have to say, well, we want to make new games. We're going to want to have to add new things, but we need a handheld. And the thing is like putting handheld games on like strictly digital on smartphones. Smartphone gaming, just for the types of games Nintendo and third parties do on handhelds, smartphones just aren't the answer. So you need a dedicated handheld. And I mean, who's the one company that's proven that they know how to run a handheld division? Sony. I'm sorry, I said that.
We all know the Sonys are the masters of handheld. Like look at
Vita.
Look at
the Vita ended last year, I think.
The PS Vita is like the Super Saiyan of handheld consoles.
If you say Super Saiyan, it's the Vegeta talks major shit and gets its ass kicked all the time. Then yes, you're right. It is the Super Saiyan of.
And look, if you compare it to Vegeta, then I guess it means it's afraid of showing weakness.
No, it like Vegeta. He talks major shit, gets his ass kicked every time. I'm gonna do. Why'd you break my face?
Yeah, Vegeta. He's afraid to show weakness sometimes. Like he's very, very arrogant. Like sometimes he doesn't want to admit a weakness. Like he's not. What?
I'm sorry. You just got me laughing so much.
Okay.
we all know Sony are the true masters of handheld. Like look at those graphics.
And we all know, and when it comes to handheld gaming, we all know who's the one punch man of handheld gaming.
Yeah.
And let me put it this way: their name means "leave luck to heaven." That's all I need to say. They look lame and annoying and underpowered, but then they get you behind the store in that back alley and knock you the fuck out.
You're forgetting one thing: the graphics are important too. You know.
Not on handheld.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I say. Graphics are as important as gameplay is.
Yeah, why do you think Nintendo basically ruled the handheld space? Because they realized that with handheld, content is king. Graphics are good, but you should be thinking about content and utilizing that content well versus just graphics.
Another good example would be Michael Bay movies. Like you can make the best special effects. You can make the best special effects ever, but if the substance behind it is shit, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You hit a nerve right there, Metal. Like those movies should be outlawed of how bad they are.
Yeah, but I mean, they have explosions and people and some lady wearing tight shorts bending over something.
Can I say an unpopular opinion? I don't think Megan Fox is that hot.
Well, neither do I, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. I think that I think overall what you're gonna see, I think what you're gonna see is Nintendo is gonna release another handheld, but it's not gonna be for another 2 to 3 years. I think you're gonna see strong support.
It's likely going to be next year that we're going to hear anything at all.
Yeah, they'll probably announce it, but it probably won't come out until 2019 or even 2020.
Yeah,
Like you're not gonna see it
it's
anytime
going to
soon.
be heard, but it's not going to be touchable for a while.
Because I'll be honest, Nintendo needs to pull a good E3 because, like, I love Nintendo, but their name is like through the mud in the gaming community as it is right now because of the Wii U.
Contrarian. Stop saying that. The gaming community is the people you're seeing on YouTube and writing articles. Most gamers are not fucking writing articles about how they hate a system, or making videos, or doing any of that shit. Most gamers just buy games and play them. Those aren't the majority.
I was gonna say, then we got those quote unquote authentic journalists that think they know everything there is about Nintendo, think that they know what is best for Nintendo, and would suck Microsoft and Sony's all the way down to the core.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
The reality is nobody knows jack shit about Nintendo.
Nope.
To be honest, IGN is not a journalistic site as they say. They are unofficial Sony cheerleading squad. Have you seen how much they will spin their stories to make Sony appear strong?
Well, if you go to IGN and look on their page, plastered all across their page is all this stuff that just loves. I mean, they friggin' love Sony.
I was about to say they bow down to Sony every time they raise their head up.
I mean, I don't like. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not that I dislike Sony. I don't.
Sony is not bad. Here's the thing. Hey. They do some pretty shady sheep that is so far under the table it might as well be underneath the earth.
Remember the unofficial Sony Whore of the Year, Colin Moriarty.
They fired him. Do you know how bad you have to be in order to like that's how unethical Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller were. That basically they got fired from IGN. I mean, this is a website that they're like Sony's making all this money. Then you go to the page and plastered all across their page with adverts is Sony shit. So it's like, I see what side that you're getting out of.
Did you guys remember when the PS4 VR was announced? Like, you will see ads out of the ass in the IGN the IGN page.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask, where's VR now? Since I haven't heard one beeping coin about it.
Don't you know VR saved the industry? Just like Warren Spector.
VR is the future. VR is the future.
It's like they deliberately tried to create their own version of the virtual board scenario.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, businesses make money by taking risks. That's just what you got to do in business. You got to take risks. Sony.
There's a thing called smart risk, and there's risk that are dumb enough to be known as capcom stupid risks.
Well,
Oh
I mean,
man,
like, okay,
you
Sony.
you should have been earlier. Like we crap on
You guys,
Capcom the first
you guys,
episode.
you guys crapped on Capcom. I defended them because I'm giving them
I
the
was gonna
benefit of
say,
the doubt, which is terrible. But I really am.
you're hoping that Infinite is something better than Zero.
Like, here's the thing. There's no way it's gonna look. There's no way. No matter how bad this game is gonna be, Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, it will not be as bad as Street Fighter V. There's no way on God's green earth it can be that bad.
If it turns out that bad, I hope you have a bad taste of the salts.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, who knows? Considering that one, they already announced DLC, and then second, the game there was an reveal trailer last December, and the game is coming out in less than a year since then.
Yeah, that's what I said. The game seems rushed.
That could be the case. I don't know. Look, I'll have to see. I'll have to see more. As I
said, if it turns out that bad or worse, you're gonna be eating some salt.
I mean,
let's put it this way: if it's not as bad as Street Fighter V, I will consider it a mission accomplished. Because there's no way it could be as bad as Street Fighter.
yeah, we'll see. Hey,
Man. Look, listen, if it's missing an arcade mode, single player mode, and all it has is versus mode and no story mode, then I'll be like, you know what?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse than Street Fighter.
If that happened, the Snaik will be set loose. Like I'll be fighting leaf storms all over the damn internet in rage.
But if it has the bare minimum of what we expect from a Street Fighter / Capcom fighting game, a story mode, single player versus mode,
Capcom versus game,
some type of tutorial thing. If it has those four things, I'm gonna be like, okay. You know, it works. Because remember, Street Fighter V didn't have all of that day one. So here's the thing: if it has the bare minimum, if it has the bare minimum, it's already doing better than Street Fighter.
Mr. Red Fox, you're giving Capcom way too much credit. Like,
no, I'm not. Look, because Street Fighter V was so bad at launch.
No, see,
Look, what Mr. Red Fox is trying to say is that it's hard to fuck up more than Street Fighter.
Yes,
exactly.
Street Fighter 5 for Street Fighter fans. Like I am a Street Fighter fan.
I'm comparing this to Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It is like Street Fighter fans for real Street Fighter fans such as myself. It's like when that bully at your school kick you in the balls repeatedly.
Yeah, like
you're left to just grind in pain. Like while the bully laughs, like the bully laughs at you.
Dealing with? God damn.
Oh, that was just natural in my middle school life.
Damn, that is some tough. That's tough right there. I've never heard of that one.
But that's how I felt when Capcom did that. Like that was just franchise rape, in my opinion.
Yeah, but let's keep it real though. Even if it just is, like, here's the thing: everyone got mad at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had a single player, a multiplayer, a story mode.
I
online,
like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like,
and I know people might get mad because they're like, well, it wasn't balanced. But I mean,
I was gonna say it's not that part that I'm upset about with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's about how many editions they did.
Yeah, you're right. But that's Capcom. I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, that's, you know. So you gotta,
ages in order to get to another number.
Well, I'm sorry, you got to do it.
That's a topic now. That is a topic I want to now do. What are your guys' true opinions about like Capcom? What would you want Capcom to do, like to get on your good graces? Let's start with who wants to start first.
Me.
Go ahead, man.
Go Spawn. Go.
Okay. Sorry, it's just okay. It's funny. Look,
Super Ego.
What Capcom need to do is go back in class and get taught by Nintendo.
They need to go back to school.
Exactly, they need to go back to school.
Like, I'm going back to school, gonna get my GED. Look, gonna get my air turned back on in my mama name. Gonna get my shit together, then I'll be fine.
I'll be frank. Like,
Ooh.
Capcom used to be like my second favorite, like, gaming company, like, of all time. I remember back in high school, and I owned a PS2, and I owned so many Capcom titles, and I used to put Capcom in such a high pedestal, and now I can't even stand to look at Capcom anymore.
Yeah, back in the 90s with the arcade and stuff, they was like a force to be reckoned with. But then, like, once the HD era came,
I played the shit out of Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Nowadays, I prefer to look at a backup toilet than to look at Capcom.
Here's what I'll say Capcom needs to do in order to get in my good graces. They can continue to make AAA games, those big AAA games that they love so much, your massive games, but start putting money into smaller, more
unknown games.
Well, smaller, more budget-friendly games, and bring back some of their older franchises in those games. Like, do Rockman 11, sorry, Mega Man, the Mega Man 11. Do, like, take that old engine from Mega Man Battle Network, release a Battle Network collection.
Yeah.
Release a Battle Network. I'm going to use the Japanese name because I forgot the American name. Ryusei no Rockman collection. Like, why don't you do that? I know people are like, I know I just said
collection.
Well, that was the name of the American version, but in Japan it's called Ryusei no Rockman. But do start bringing back your old shit. Give us a Captain Commando, a Final Fight, 2D side scroller. Just keep the budget low. If you have to farm it out to smaller studios to do it, like
keep it smart.
Yeah,
I mean, don't pull a Sega.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to do that, because Capcom has some really good franchises.
Man, I will love a Final Fight, like a modern Final Fight.
Well, I mean, I don't mean like that. I mean like another installment. Like, give us Final Fight 4. You can make it a 2D scroller, kind of like Final Fight 3, but for modern, it could be on the 3DS, Steam, PS4, Xbox One, Switch.
They should do a Street of Rage. I really love that series.
Well, that's Sega. We're talking Capcom right now.
That was Sega. Sorry, sorry. That was a mistake.
I mean, give us another Ghost and Goblins. I mean, Capcom has tons of really good games. Give us another
Stalkers.
There's so much potential.
Give us more fighting games than just Street Fighter.
Yeah, I mean, Darkstalkers is Street Fighters with Universal Monsters instead of
give us another Give us another
Red Earth. Yeah, give us another Red Earth, another Power Stone. Stuff like that.
Actually, we can build a graveyard of all the franchises.
Breath of Fire.
Graveyard of dead franchises. Man, you're gonna be in it for a long time.
Give us another Breath of Fire.
My favorite Breath of Fire is Breath of Fire 4.
I like 1 and 2 the most.
I never played 1.
Yeah, I like 1 and 2 the most, but 4 is my least favorite. I like of the 5th gen ones. I guess I have to say my favorite is 3.
Why is 4 your least favorite?
I don't like the design of the dragons. They look weird to me. That's basically.
I was gonna say, isn't Breath of Fire 5 the black sheep of the group?
That game doesn't exist. There is no Breath of Fire 5. It doesn't exist, damn it. It doesn't exist.
What did
I was gonna say, that's the same. That's the same as saying that the mobile game is not existing either.
It doesn't. There is no Breath of Fire
But
mobile.
what is now? I'm curious. What the hell Breath of Fire 5 do?
Let's just say
it's not Breath of
your
Fire.
dragon power, you get killed faster.
Yeah, it makes your dragon counter, it makes your countdown go down, and in order for you to get the best ending of the game, you can't use your dragon powers, so you have to
Which
the
is
battles are
total
tactical.
bull.
Yeah, here's the thing. For me, I like the traditional Breath of Fire. So 1, 2, 3. 4 is like a hybrid. It's the character art is traditional, but a lot of the shit, like the dragons, don't really look like dragons to me. Like it's like a weird kind of alternative art style that looks weird to me. But I can see what they were going for. But then 5, it's like they went off the rails and into a ditch, and like the ditch was filled with school children and school buses and nuns and puppies, and it blew up because 5 is just terrible. It's embarrassingly bad, and true Breath of Fire fans, it doesn't.
It makes you want to rage quit.
Yeah, Breath of Fire 5 doesn't exist. There's Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is no 5. Just like for real Sonic fans, there is no Sonic 06.
Actually,
Or
Just had to bring that up, didn't you?
No, I didn't bring it up because there is no Sonic 06, right? There is no Sonic 06.
Another thing about Sonic 06, it's no use.
It doesn't exist. There is no Sonic 06. If you ask a real Sonic fan, hey, what about that Sonic game that came out at there is no Chrono Cross. Chrono Trigger doesn't have a sequel. There is no sequel for Chrono Trigger.
My God, man. I'm not a fan of Chrono Cross.
No one is a fan. But no, there is no. See, that's the thing. There is no Chrono Cross. It doesn't exist. There is no Chrono Trigger sequel. Because Chrono Cross is not a Chrono Trigger sequel. Oh, they might have a few of the same characters tangentially related, but it's not a Chrono Trigger. It's like Final Fantasy 15.
Degrees of relation.
Well, it's like Final Fantasy 15 isn't really a Final Fantasy game.
Hey, I like that game.
Man, I like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It's not a Final Fantasy game.
Oh my God.
Just because it has the name on it doesn't make it a Final Fantasy game.
Let's not have this argument. Like every time we talk about 15, we tend to butt heads.
No, man. Look, man.
You're not gonna win with
you're the one who gets upset. Look, man. There's games that I like that people hate. Like I like Bajan. I like not Bajan Gate. I think there's a lot of people like Bajan Gatos. I like Quest 64.
And another game that you like,
Quest 64.
I really hate, is Sonic CD. I really hate that game.
Yeah, I like Sonic CD. So I mean, yeah, I actually like Sonic CD. I really do.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people didn't like Sonic Heroes. I like it.
I love Sonic Heroes.
I like the Sonic games.
Sonic Heroes is the last good 3D Sonic game before it started to go down the dung.
Wait, Sonic Colors is awesome, at least for me.
Yeah, Sonic Colors wasn't bad. I think when Sega keeps Sonic simple, it's a better game. When they try to do weird stuff,
Well,
it's
Unleashed.
to me, my favorite Sonic game is Colors. To be fair, because I love the aesthetic of the game, because I'm a huge sucker for amusement park level themes, and
I think for me, I actually enjoyed Unleashed. I think the ideas behind Unleashed were done well. The execution, not so much. The Werehog levels, the pacing for the Werehog levels wasn't that good, but the idea of basically having levels that promoted you slowing down and actually exploring the space instead of blazing through as quickly as humanly possible and missing shit, that was actually a good idea.
And then there's a game like Sonic 3D Blast, which I have a like-hate relationship for.
It's a mixed blessing.
actually, that is considered to be the first bad Sonic game, Sonic 3D Blast.
Really? Not Sonic R Racing?
I mean, I think it's the version.
I think Sonic 3D Blast came first.
I think it's the version you get, like the Genesis version. I don't care.
What about Knuckles Chaotix? That was.
I think it's
Funny
the
enough,
version.
Funny enough, I never played that or seen it.
And you're not missing it.
I think it's the version you have like for like 3D Blast on Genesis. But I have it on Sega Saturn. it seemed like it's made for that system. Like this music
Probably.
thing's much better.
Probably. I mean, like that's the thing about Sega.
Guys, but you're leaving the best gem like behind. What about Sonic Labyrinth?
Oh!
No. We will not talk about that.
I can
No.
explain that game in one sentence.
Exactly.
I tried to play that piece of shit. I couldn't.
I don't know why gamers torture themselves like that. They're like, I have to.
Well, it's not about torturing ourselves. It's about making fun of this game.
No, the problem is that I will never admit a game is bad unless I play it and experience it. So I wanted to see, because let's be honest, a lot of people talk shit about a lot of good games and they say are bad.
Yeah, but sometimes, sometimes when someone tells you things, it's not out of subjectivity. Like, don't stare at the sun. This is how I feel about Sonic Labyrinth.
Well, there are two people that we lost about.
Excuse me.
I have a fart app on my machine. I'm like,
I say what you been eating?
No. That was my cell phone. I have a cell phone app just for that because it's fun to do it in podcasts.
To be honest, I'm going to say an unpopular opinion. I think Sonic was doing well until Sonic Boom. Like, it had his momentum with Lost Worlds, Generations, and
I was going to say, it lost its momentum with Sonic 06, and it was starting to get back. Then it crashed itself into the wall with Sonic Boom.
Yeah, because Sonic Colors, Sonic Generation. I mean, I like Unleash. At least for me, I like Unleash. I like Colors. I'm
surprised you didn't like Shadow.
Well, I
never played it.
I don't the Hedgehog. I think it was okay. It wasn't like woo, but it was okay.
Lost Worlds.
That story just garbage on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Like, here's the thing. I think personally, in my opinion, I think that Sonic was kind of picking up steam. I think instead of doing Sonic Boom, they should have refined the formula of Sonic Lost World, and the next game should have been like Lost World 2 or some variation of Lost World, because Lost World had a lot of good ideas. The execution wasn't perfect, but there were some really good ideas in there. Instead, Sega got scared because it didn't sell as well as they wanted. It still sold well. It just didn't sell as well as they wanted, and they got like, oh shit, we need to mix it up.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Sonic Boom had good ideas. A Sonic game that was set in an open world that had each of the 4 characters had different abilities that you could utilize. But the execution, like that game was rushed.
It was so terrible.
That game should have had a 2-year development cycle, and instead they were forced to do that shit in a year, and that's why it turned out the way it did.
I was about to say, I thought it was in the oven for at least a year and a half.
Well, I mean, 18 months, but that should have been a 2-year. That should have been a 2-year game. They needed more time to polish it.
I want to refrain myself from talking about that piece of shit game, because like I'm going to turn this into a 2.5 more podcasts about how many things I hate from Sonic Boom.
Well, I mean, like I said, Sonic Boom had good ideas, but the execution was
terrible,
awful. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, I almost forgot to say that I gave you guys a link to a video that I recently seen that's talking about something that probably should have been obvious.
Okay.
What about? Oh, guys, I saw. Did you know that the Nintendo Switch is bad because it can't survive a 3-foot fall, a fall for a 10-foot building?
Oh God.
The Nintendo jokes. I heard that.
I don't think there's any gaming device that can survive that long of a fall, except maybe a Game Boy. But those Game Boys are tough. You can kill someone with a Game Boy.
I saw an article saying that the Switch was a fragile console because it couldn't survive a 10-foot fall from a building. I was like, nothing can survive a 10-foot fall.
My thing is,
how tall was the building?
10,
Yeah,
10,
But Sprite was gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
I'm about to say, well, can smartphones and iPads and stuff survive a 10 feet fall?
Yeah, but my thing is, why would you have a console that high in the air? Like I don't
Here's
get
the
that.
thing: the Nintendium jokes are not working with that kind of thinking.
Yeah, and if it was a Game Boy, I don't like. Okay, 3DS, Game Boy, DS, 2DS,
Those
Game Boy
things are meant
Advance.
to take a beating.
Yeah, those are meant to take. Those things are like Timex. Take a licking and keep on ticking.
There's a Game Boy that survived a nuclear explosion.
Well, it wasn't nuclear, but it was an explosion, and the thing still works. I mean, it's melted, but the game that's in there still works.
Actually, I'm funny because I even saw like an article say that the Switch cannot survive being run over by a car. And I was like,
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing to your console?
I was like,
handheld.
I was like, for Jesus sake, even a human gets broken under a car, but be run over by a car, you dumbass.
What kind of sick things are they thinking?
What the hell did they think that the Nintendo Switch should have been made out of vibranium, for God's sakes?
Here's what I'll say about this. Okay, for people who are complaining about the durability of this gaming device, it is a home console that is portable. Home consoles, generally speaking, aren't as they aren't going to be put under the same types of stress as a
portable item.
As a handheld. Okay, so the Switch is not going to be under the same pressures as a 3DS or a DS or a Game Boy. The home consoles have never been under that level of, so they don't have to take that type of punishment. If you're running over your Switch or dropping it from a large point, you deserve to have your shit broken. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's a home console that is portable. It is not a portable. It is not a handheld. They're two completely different things.
Guys, I got an idea. I forgot to say that on the E3 segment. Guys, imagine if Nintendo will bring a live performance to their presentation.
And like I said earlier, like I said a few hours ago, I disagree with that.
But imagine if, like, what rock band or like band will Nintendo could bring to their presentation?
Anyone except Imagine Dragons, because fuck those guys.
I was about to say, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where the moon did that come from?
I hated that music for that commercial for the Switch. I was like, disgusting.
Look, I know Nintendo would never choose one of my suggestions. I would propose
Guar. Metallica Guar.
No, that's really generous. In an ideal world, I would propose Slayer or Sepultura.
I have a better idea that's safer for everybody. Bring out David Wise in a cover band and have them play some Donkey Kong country tunes.
What? That's a good idea.
Imagine if they bring Usher.
Man, fuck Usher. Usher does the beat make the booty go.
Remember that legendary Usher. What was the dance Kinect game the Xbox had that they brought an Usher live presentation?
Dance,
it's like Microsoft 20
Central or something like that.
It's like 2011.
I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, okay, with Ubisoft and Alicia, shit, I forgot her name. Really tall, curvy black lady. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. She's the voice for Archer's girlfriend in Archer. Whose name I also forgot because I haven't watched that show in a long time. But basically, like, I could understand because she actually plays video games. She has some nerd cred. But Usher, I mean,
oh boy,
it's Usher. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie, the dude can dance his ass off. Okay, fair enough. But really, Usher?
Oh, man.
Look, if they're gonna bring back Usher, they need to have Little John up there going, "Yay!" Yeah, okay. Usher, I got the booty go pop.
I still think my idea of Metallica for Nintendo is better than this, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Metallica is cool, but I think that's a little too niche.
Yeah, I know. It's too intense. I know, but
or they could pull out the big guns and pull out Koji Kondo or if they really want to do the big guns, get Koji Kondo and John Williams to do a dual score together. That's right. The Star Wars man and the Nintendo man to come together for the ultimate mashup, but then the universe would explode, and we can't have that. So
actually, I think Nintendo, if they really want to like capture their audience's heart, when they start the live presentation, they need to like tell the world that how much the Switches have sold.
I was gonna say. That's a Sony move.
Yeah, that's a Sony move.
Yeah,
like really, what they need to show is games. They need to be. You know how that direct was, where they're like game, release date. They need to do that with this E3. They need to be like, here's the next game.
We don't need a Final Fantasy VII remix.
Because at this point, people know that the Switch is selling, because when you go to buy one, people are knocking people out. Look, people are offering sexual favors for a Switch.
also, bringing up the sales during the presentation would just ignite more console wars, which is total bullshit. I mean, Nintendo are trying their best to stop the console wars.
The last console war that mattered was
Sega versus Nintendo.
Well, I was going to say Sega versus Nintendo and Sega versus Nintendo and Sony. Those are the 5th gen was really the last console war that mattered. After that, it's just bullshit.
It's no longer about the craftsmanship. Now it's just marketing.
But guys, the problem is like Nintendo has to like on this you have to say, guys, we're back and with a vengeance.
They're already doing that with the fact that you can't fucking find a Switch.
I agree with the idea that they need to be more aggressive. That I agree, but not by bringing up sales or marketing. Yeah. Just by showing products, let the products speak for
I remember in one of their favorite jabs of sorts, that they got more highly acclaimed titles that are exclusive to their system than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like, everyone keeps on saying we want console wars back, but you want to know what they fought with in console wars? Not sales. No one talked about fucking sales. They talked about the games. So you know what? You want to have another console war? I don't want to hear shit. We sold these many million units because you're gonna sound like Sony. And here's the problem: Sony's like, we shipped 50 million PS4s.
I bet you that number is a lot lower, because
I think install base probably is 35, 40 million. I don't think they have a 50 million install base. I don't even think they have a 60 million install base. I think the PS4 has begun to peter out, which is why they're like, we have to introduce VR and PS4 Pro, which both bombed. So
the PS4 Pro actually bombed. Yeah, I mean, look.
And the Scorpio is heading that direction too, if I think about it.
And the Xbox One.
But let's be honest, the Xbox is a wounded animal at this point. Like, they are just trying to like remain relevant.
I think they're running out the clock. They're like, look. Yeah,
they are just they are really like pushing the corner, like their ace in the hole got canceled. They practically had no presses this year, like at all. Like they
canceled like 3 exclusive games and shuttered studios that actually were making money.
They have bleeded more money than a woman on period.
Well, that's a little too far.
That's a little offensive on me.
Yeah, that's a
sorry.
Far, dude. But here's the difference between Sony and Microsoft. Microsoft has bled billions of dollars, but they can take the hit because the Xbox division
got
only
money.
accounts for like 1% of the total revenue generated by Microsoft. So it's like if someone pricked your hand with a needle and like a little drop
It's
of
like
blood
getting a
came
blood
out.
sample.
Yeah, that's bad. It never stopped bleeding. That's bad, but it's not as bad as if like what happened to Sony with the PS3 and the PS2 and the PS1 is like someone cut your hand off and it never stopped bleeding. Like blood just coming out. That's how it is with Sony.
I'll be honest. Like, do you really think Microsoft can get can get the upper hand on these two consoles with Halo 6?
No.
Because that is
Unlikely.
they're planning that to be their ace in the hole.
Well, no,
And
I don't think it is their ace in the hole because here's the thing: Halo isn't even their top franchise anymore. It's Forza.
I was going to say a racing game is their king.
Yeah,
Wow.
Forza is
how-
their highest
sad.
grossing franchise right now.
I was going to
It's
say
sad because Halo built the Xbox brand, but Halo the last two Halo games were shit. So I mean. Halo. I mean, actually, I take that back. Halo 4 was okay, but it was too Call of Duty-ish.
they should. The Xbox crew should try to bring Blinks back if possible.
No, they can't because they let the trade. Here's how little of a shit they give about Blinks the Time Cat. They let the trademark lapse.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's when someone really doesn't give a shit. That's when you know.
But the problem is, like, let's be honest, Microsoft cannot compete in the third party department. Microsoft cannot compete with Sony, but in the first party department, Microsoft cannot compete with Nintendo. So they are on a fucking, like, they cannot excel at anything at this point.
Well, they have money. I mean, actually, no, I take that back because the budget was slashed. They used to have money, and I mean, why do you think all those studios were shuttered? Was so that they could kind of pretend that the shit was still holding together, and they needed money to keep things. They took that money that was supposed to go to those studios and used it to create the Xbox One. To kind of wrap that up. I mean, it's really like a.
And remember what they built, like the investors said that the Xbox One was their last chance at the Microsoft gaming division. Like, what's going to happen if the Xbox One doesn't pull from this, from this situation, sorry situation they find themselves in? Because the investors were really clear with Microsoft, with the gaming division.
Well, I tell you what's going to happen. They're just going to roll the Xbox division into gaming with Windows, and that's going to be gaming for the Xbox. It's just going to be the Xbox will be like a virtual. I hate to say this, a virtual console, if you will. And I mean that's not terrible, but I mean, like we're already seeing it. Like all of these games are going to be on PC too. Well, if the games are going to be on PC and people like, people like PC games are scalable. So if you have kind of a shitty PC, you can probably play a lot of them. So I mean, if that's going to be the case, then what do I need with an Xbox One?
Exactly.
To be honest, aside from the few games like Sunset Overdrive, what edge does the Xbox One have with its competitors?
Achievements.
Not a damn thing.
I'm guessing that because they like to wave their virtual dongs.
I mean, achievements are cool, but now Sony has trophies, which are basically achievements. So
yeah, they did that like 10 years ago, so it's not really exclusive to the Xbox platform.
Because like I've seen, like, actually, to be honest, I see the true loser of last gen to be the Xbox One, not the Wii U.
You mean last gen? Yeah.
Financially, yes.
Because it, like, let's be honest, the Xbox One just sold a little better than the Wii U, but it wasn't like that much. Like, and at this point, like, Microsoft blessed so many money with that console. It's not even funny. Like,
Well,
we
I
can
mean,
write legends and songs about how much Microsoft fucked up.
I would agree with you except for one small problem. Microsoft could afford to take the hit. Sony,
They're trying to keep their last one up.
yeah,
But
Sony,
Sony
Microsoft lost
Sony
money, but they
won
could afford to.
last gen. Let's admit that.
Well, not really. I mean, the thing is like, okay, if you're selling a lot of stuff, but you're losing money every time you sell, like, okay, if I'm losing $50 for every console I sell, that means I'm still not really making that much money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still losing money, even if
Yeah.
technically. So even though the PS4 is selling more, their first-party games aren't really making money.
I was gonna say it's like them having to, like them trying to start with only 10 cents after giving up 90 cents to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
we shipped $100. Did you know the joke? Like, Sony said they ship consoles when they're not selling, they're shipping. Like,
Another shady thing I noticed for Sony is this. 3 years ago, when Nintendo announced that the Wii U became profitable, a couple of days after, Sony announced that the PS4 became profitable.
That's an undercut.
Huh?
That's an undercut because if anything, Sony has barely anything that can really give them money back as equal as Nintendo. In fact, they have to work twice or thrice as hard for it.
Yeah, well, the problem is that, and I've said this before, the money in the console industry is in first-party game. It's in software. And if you're a console manufacturer, it's your first-party software. Sony's first-party software, except for Uncharted.
I was going to say, there's Snaik.
Well, Knack sold all right, but here's the thing: Knack needed to sell to at least 40% of the install base. Knack is at, I want to say, 4 million. Like, it's been outsold by Mario. Which means it's sold to, if you list, okay, I'm gonna say install base, not like sold through, not shipped. I would say that sold through the PS4 is at 4 million. I'd say Knack is sold is at 40 million. Knack is sold 4 million. It's sold to 10. It's sold to 10% of the install base. That's not good enough for your first party title. Uncharted sold to 8%. 8 million. A little bit over 8 million. So that's 20% of the install base. That's better, but that's their highest selling IP is Uncharted. Like, their other IPs, like Gran Turismo, bombed. Gran Turismo is really expensive to make for Sony.
I was going to say, that's under 1%.
No, I said it's 20%, because I'm saying that because the install base is probably around 40 million for the PS4. 40 million and 4 million of Knack sold, and that's a liberal estimate. It's probably less.
Are you sure it's 40 million? Because on VG they say 56.4 million.
Yeah, but Sony, when they report those numbers, say shipped, and ship means it went to a distributor ship and it went to a store. That doesn't mean someone bought it.
Yeah.
So
I saw in Liger's, like, shout out to Liger from MDuo. I saw in Liger's video one. I think it was a girl that said that Sony treats their IPs better than Nintendo.
What?
So, how is Jack and Daxter doing? How's Parappa the Rapper doing?
How's Spyro doing?
Oh, that's right.
They sold them off to Activision.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Here's what I'll say. How's Ape Escape doing? How's Pa Rapper the Rapper doing? Where's Dan Fortescue from Medieval? Where's Cookies and Cream? Crash Bandicoot got sold to Activision. So did Spyro. So that's what we know where they went.
Actually,
Spyro is barely a part of something called Skylanders. Like, it's
where's my Jack and Daxter? Where's my Jack and Daxter game? So
I'm sorry, you guys got me laughing when you said that line.
Yeah, I
Sony
mean,
takes care of their IPs better than Nintendo.
here's what I'll say to this young lady. Here's what I'm gonna need her to do. I'm gonna need her to tell me where she's smoking, where she's getting her stuff that she's smoking, because it's some good shit.
What about sleeping
That must have been
companion?
some 420 good stuff.
It's good shit.
When I heard that, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Does does this girl know how many franchise Sony has killed in their lifetime?"
Or just stop supporting. It's not
Like,
even.
like you can count more franchises than fingers on your hands. Like,
I was like, "What the hell?" Hell, even Ratchet and Clank, I think they're not going to do much with it now. I think
Well,
because
the first game bombed,
it's
so
because the problem with Sony is that they're quick to give up. They're quick to give up. They're quick to give up. I mean, it's like when the Vita bombed, they didn't fall for the Vita. They didn't.
they never really supported it. They put one or two first party games on it, of note. They put one or two first party games of note. They did that Uncharted Golden Edition, Uncharted Gold, or some shit like that. They did a God of War, and then when those games didn't sell that well, they were like, "Well, we'll leave it to third parties to support it." But here's the thing,
I mean,
and
they
this is
give up quickly.
yeah, this is why I find it laughable when people are like, "Man, you need to have really powerful graphics for a handheld system." Well, guess what? More powerful hardware means you have to spend more money to make those games. Handhelds should not. A handheld game should not have a AAA budget. I'm sorry.
And a good argument to prove that power means jack shit in today's age.
Especially on a handheld. Now, if you're a console,
Resident Evil Revelations, that game
Yeah.
on a cartridge on the 3DS looks like a PlayStation 3 / Xbox 360 games.
it is very well made. But I mean, the thing is like it was too expensive for like the reason you're seeing support for the Vita in Japan is because a lot of the companies that made games for the PSP and the PS3, they just ported their engine over to the Vita. Those games are not taking advantage of the Vita's power or anything. They're just ports. They're up ports of games. It's like, well, we already had this engine. Let's just use it. Sell 1, 2, 3 million. We made our money back. We made a profit. Boom. But that's the only place where the Vita's really doing anything. Because look, I have a Vita. Well, I have Vita TV. I don't have a Vita. I have Vita TV. I got it for $25 at Best Buy. And you know what?
what the hell? That cheap?
Yeah, it was a clearance thing. The Vita TV bombed spectacularly. Why do you think I spent $25 to get it? Because it was like $89.
That is sad when a console bombs so hard you can find it on a damn clearance sale.
Well, I mean that's what happened to the Saturn and the Dreamcast.
That's sad.
Yeah, see, that's when you know a console has. That's when you know a company took a major hit with a console when it's on clearance and it's like dirt cheap. I never want to hear someone say the Wii U was a failure. Really? Because you still have to pay like $250 to $300 to get one. Whereas I can find a PS3 right now for like under $75 if I really want.
And it shows how much quality they have in their games.
Yep.
It's like people like to say that Sony are like the kings of the industry today, but here's the thing. When you look at PS3 and PSP versus the PS Vita and PS4, how many first-party games are there in comparison? The level of support.
Actually, yeah, because the PS3 actually had a lot of good Ratchet and Clank games, at least for me.
It's not. Well, it had 3, and 2 of them were downloadable only titles, which is offensive.
No, it actually had.
Contrarian, I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about support.
Yeah, you're right.
The difference is huge. So that tells me how Sony has fallen. I mean, yeah.
Did you know the sad thing about this crap is gamers will never admit that Sony's wrong.
Oh, they will. They just it doesn't.
It'll take them time.
Yeah, they don't care. They're like, well, as long as I'm playing a game, I'm happy. And here's the thing, look, as long as people are playing games and enjoying their games, I'm happy. But when people start saying shit that's patently untrue, and when you tell them, well, actually, that's false, this is what actually happened, they get mad at you, then we have a problem.
Exactly.
Because that's something popularity versus the truth. That is something that has to be happening on this industry.
Yeah, because because the thing is that you have people who they have a vested interest, like there's money in being popular versus telling the truth, because they want to get out in front of a story. They want to be first. You see it in YouTube comments. People are like, first, what the fuck does that matter? You said nothing of worth. You just said
I always said, "Oh my God, who fucking cares?" To comments like that.
it's like I'm first. It doesn't matter.
All it matters is what is really there.
Yeah, the only thing that matters when it comes to a console is, does it have games that you want to play on it? That's that. And can you afford to buy that console and support it? If you're the console manufacturer, will you support it? Like Sony has done not a great job of supporting the PS4. Third parties have been doing the heavy lifting, and fair enough. Third parties have been making money off of the PS4. There was an article that came out where this guy's like, I really want to play all these third-party games on the Switch because I can take home console gaming on the go. You ain't gonna get that. You're not gonna get Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. Would it be awesome? Yeah, but probably ain't gonna happen.
Well, not just probably, it won't.
Well, look, man. Look, I thought I'd never see Skyrim, a Bethesda game, on a Nintendo home console, but apparently Skyrim's coming.
Very, very old.
It's old, but hell, it's a Bethesda game, so I can't say it's never gonna happen.
The first game in 30 years.
The chances of it happening are real.
Ya voy a parar aquí a sacar el video.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap things up too, man. I think we've been here long enough.
Actually, this has been one hell of a podcast. Too bad you only got 2 watchers, but oh well.
Well, I think a lot of people will watch it after the fact with sharing and stuff like that.
Because I think this has been my best podcast. Yeah, like
that's true. Like I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, the snake is getting better little by little. But please give everyone.
We still got a ways to go.
But everyone, please say. Do you want to say something before you sign off?
I'll say something and then I'll bounce because it's very late at night and I have work tomorrow. This is Mr. Red Fox. I have some content coming this week by tomorrow and Friday. I also have some good stuff coming Saturday with my BS Busters at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This one, we have some good questions, and we're going to talk about how other big open world franchises can step up their game in light of what Breath of the Wild was able to do, and pushing the open world formula forward. So some speculation on that. Some of the same people here might be in that one, so look forward to that. Yeah, it's Saturday, 7 p.m. EST. So look forward to that, and peace.
Peace. So, guys, want to say something?
I recently did my 2 coins on the video that I actually linked to you guys.
Oh, okay.
And it's about localizations.
Just localize everything.
Yeah, because if anything, I have to keep on telling my friend that it's not about importing, because that only helps the current country of that certain region. If you want the game to be really known, localize, for star's sake. And sure, there's going to be people that are super fans about it and will promote it to high heaven, but God's dar it, at least take the import and stop complaining. I mean, take the localization and stop complaining about how it's not the exact game as the import is supposed to be. Because even the imports are censored at a time.
Yeah. But anyway, like I really need to go. So Metal,
Hey, what about me?
can you do a quick side up because my mom is kind of like
Looking at you wrong.
Okay, so
Metal. Give your rock star goodbye. Give your rock star sign up.
okay, so this is Metalhead Gamer, and I'll see you next time.
That was an epic sign up actually. So guys, the snake has to bounce, but I will be back with another snake talk next week. So bye.